Being born into Hollywood is not always a good thing. Welcome to Beyond the Screen, I am Nate, and these are 10 celebrity Nepo babies who can't act. Number 10, Jaden Smith. Child to two of Hollywood's worst, Will and Jada Smith, Jaden was attempting to get a career started as early as the age of 8, starring alongside his dad Will in a handful of projects before being casted as the lead in a remake of the popular Karate Kid series. Karate Kid was well received. If anything was weird that came from it, it was the song Never Say Never. Following the success, it seemed like he was on track to be the next Hollywood Nepo baby who followed in their parents' footsteps. However, the older he got, the less he appeared in films, instead opting to work for himself. The last movie that he was in was After Earth, a sci-fi, alongside his father as a co-star and his mother as a producer. The film lost millions of dollars and is considered to be the movie that caused Jaden to rethink his trajectory. Instead of being in movies and living in a mediocre career, he decided to carve his own path and essentially disowned his parents. He started working in fashion and the music industry, having a pretty solid rap career, including a guest spot on Justin Bieber's recent tour. Instead of taking the hate and giving up, he pivoted into a new gig, and so far it seems to be working out pretty well. Considering there is a new Karate Kid movie on its way featuring both the original Daniel LaRusso, played by Ralph Macchio, and the remakes Mr. Miyagi, played by Jackie Chan, maybe Jaden will be returning as an older, wiser Karate Kid ready to lead the latest generation of Miyagi-Do. Number 9, Kim Kardashian. Kim is one of the few Kardashian crew members that has attempted to branch out into the world of other performing arts. No, not in a musical theater performance, although that would be fantastic. It was actually the film Disaster Movie that gave her a spotlight. She was in the movie for about 15 minutes because even the people who made that movie knew that she was not going to be a great addition to the cast. As the years went by, she was rarely involved in another movie. This year, she was casted to participate in American Horror Story as a main character, something that people were excited about at first. After the episode hit the air and her role was revealed, the feeling shifted. Her acting is considered to be some of the worst acting ever put to screen. She's just Kim Kardashian in a weird costume and makeup, that's it. The woman is clearly successful in her own world outside of Hollywood, so maybe she should chill there and make money doing that. You never saw Donald Trump make a move to the Marvel universe. Oh wait, he had a TV show. Number 8, Dakota Johnson. Dakota led the charge when the 50 Shades of Grey novels were adapted into live-action movies. 3 of them exist. Most superhero movies don't even get a third movie, but there are 3 50 Shades of Greys, each one worse than the last. Now, I don't know. I honestly have never seen past the first 20 minutes of the first movie, so they could be good for all I know, but probably not. Parents, Melanie Griffiths and Don Johnson, were not a massive part in Dakota getting work, but their names certainly did not mean nothing. Before I go on, I just want to remind anyone watching this, I don't have anything against Dakota Johnson or anyone else on this list, okay? If you look up Nepo babies, she's just on the list of Nepo babies out there and is an example of a questionable one, so chill. Her acting is trash. No, I'm just kidding. But the internet thinks so. She's popped up in a new trailer for a film called Madam Web, and so far the consensus is that she is a weird choice that will be a bad movie and another 50 Shades movie should not be produced. Number 7, Maude Apatow. The dynamic comedy duo of Leslie Mann and director Judd Apatow have been behind some Hollywood giants, movies like Funny People, Knocked Up, This Is 40, all graced by one of Hollywood's more functionable couples working together to this day. They even had 2 kids together, Maude and Iris. The two have starred in a few movies alongside their mother, most prominently in This Is 40, but Maude has decided to follow in her mother's footsteps and has begun to appear more and more in films and TV. She was most recently in a season of Euphoria and in the film King of Staten Island. She was also in a Netflix movie called The Bubble, but that movie only brings up bad memories and is really not a movie you should put on your resume. She has and will continue to work a lot and seems to be going nowhere but up. She's not the worst actor on this list, and I honestly think she will be very popular very soon, but again, a Nepo baby that acts, so she counts. Number 6, Lily Collins. Lily is of course the daughter of one of the most famous musicians in the world, Phil Collins, the man who single-handedly carried the Disney movie Tarzan on his voice. Lily was only 23 when she debuted in a leading role, taking the charge of the 2012 movie Mirror Mirror. The film contained an epic cast with Julia Roberts and Okay, maybe not an epic cast, Her performance in the film was not well received. In fact, the film overall was not well received, considering it is a Disney movie outside of the world of the remakes that have been coming out in the past few years. Her performance wasn't bad, and considering the film's overall Disneyness, she was actually one of the better parts of the movie. Following the film, she was casted as a lead in a ton of movies: Love Rosie's, The Blind Side, Priest, all movies that exist. Some are better than others, but the majority are not great. As time has gone on, she's been casted less and less, with her most recent film being in 2022. So now that we've talked about some people who can act, why don't we celebrate the Nepo babies in Hollywood who absolutely deserve to have their jobs. Number 5, Maya Hawke. Daughter to Ethan Hawke, who is an incredible actor and who recently made me very uncomfortable in The Black Phone, and Uma Thurman, aka one of the most incredible katana wielders in film history. Maya has appeared in a few movies and TV shows over the years, but she was featured most prominently in the last 2 seasons of Stranger Things on Netflix as Robin Buckley, and she was the first person to have their life ended in the first installment of Netflix's horror trilogy Fear Street, which is fantastic. If you haven't checked it out, go do it. She is one of those Nepo babies who somehow got acting genes from both of her parents. She is so talented and her career hasn't even started yet, considering she's only 25. She's been in a ton of good movies, with her next big role being in the Pixar film Inside Out 2 as the physical embodiment of anxiety. Such good casting. Her parents may no longer be together, but according to Maya, that has had no impact on her relationship with them. Both of her parents have stellar careers in their own respects. Ethan is now a villain in the Marvel Universe, and Uma Thurman is, well, Uma Thurman. That woman is insanely talented, even as Poison Ivy in Batman and Robin. She could have been worse. She could have been George Clooney in Batman and Robin. Number 4, Jack Quaid. Jack is another Nepo baby that made waves since the first day that he decided to be a performer. Like his father Dennis Quaid and his mama Meg Ryan, you know, the second lead of every Tom Hanks rom-com. Jack first popped up in the very first Hunger Games movie as one of the 4 jerks that tries to hunt Katniss off the top. But that's not his defining role, it's everything that he did after that that's epic. Jack has had the chance to star in some pretty awesome projects over the years, and in the last 4 years alone, his popularity and resume have grown. He was recently a featured actor in the film Oppenheimer, one of the main characters of the Scream reboot, and of course stars as Huey in the live-action TV adaptation of The Boys. If you've never seen The Boys, stop watching this video and go to your Amazon Prime right now, okay? It's not only an incredible show, but it boasts an all-star cast that are perfectly placed in their roles. Anthony Starr in particular is horrifying sometimes. Jack, on the other hand, plays his character very well, and considering the show's popularity, it won't be long before you see his name in the credits of most major motion pictures, or maybe The Boys will go on to have like 19 seasons. I would be very okay with that. Jack is also an example of a Nepo baby who actually refused any help from his parents. He got his own agent, he signed his own contracts, did all of his own jazz. Number 3, Zoey Dutch. Zoe does not share the same last name as her famous mother, but you should most certainly recognize Leah Thompson, who is the woman who played Marty McFly's mom in Back to the Future. She's been in a ton of other things, but that will always be how I know who she is. Zoe got her start in the early 20-teens, being a side character or secondary lead in a lot of movies like Dirty Grandpa, Everybody Wants Some, and the film Flower. She's not a bad actress at all. In fact, she's fun and light. She pops up in movies as a gag from time to time. In Zombieland 2, she was a dumb blonde that turns out to be allergic to peanuts, and it's just hilarious. Not much can be said about her other than she is not bad and that she seems to be on track to a long career, starring in at least 2 movies a year, which is more than a lot of people can say. Number 2, John David Washington. John is so good at his job, you would be forgiven for not knowing that his dad is famous, but he got his good acting genes from somewhere, and that somewhere is the equalizer himself, Denzel Washington. John David took a while to get out and follow in his father's footsteps. He made a handful of appearances when he was younger in various forms of media and throughout the years, but it wasn't until his performance in Tenet that his name really popped into the mainstream. He released a very good movie back in 2018 called BlacKkKlansman, but from from what I can tell, that movie flew pretty far under the radar when it was released. Since Tenet, John David has been casted in several projects as a leading man, with his next film, The Creator, set to hit theaters soon, and it looks fantastic. But hey, trailers can be deceiving, so I guess we'll see what happens. Number 1, Zoe Kravitz. Do I have to tell you who Zoe's parents are? Or is the last name just good enough? Yeah, Lenny Kravitz is considered to be one of the best musicians in modern history, and for Zoe is considered to be a great dad. Zoe used to attend red carpet events with her parents, parties, concerts, all the fun stuff that comes with rock star parents. Now, while they were strict at times, it seems that she had a great relationship with her parents, who encouraged her to just do what made her happy and what she loved. Zoe does have a bit of a career working in music, but you might know her better as an actor, from films like Divergent, Batman, and even X-Men First Class. She has remained busy to this day, and so far, there are no signs of her career slowing down anytime soon. And those are some Nepo babies that can't act and some that can. Which half did you prefer? Let us know in the comments below. Leave a like down below if you enjoyed the video and follow our channel for more content every day. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.